Hi, I'm Dr. Christine Hanlon from the University of Central Florida, here to talk to you about virtual backgrounds. So there are lots of different options that you have in terms of virtual backgrounds with Zoom. And right now on my real background, this is a bookcase and it's real. Like you can really touch the books. Like sometimes people have these fake virtual backgrounds that are books, but this one's real. Like I can pull out a book and read it, and I often do. I use this bookshelf all the time. In fact, I have people comment like, oh, you moved this book. And sometimes I'll leave a mess. I'll be like, I'll pull out a book and then I'll leave a stack of books here and I'll be like, oh no, I forgot to stage it. So you have to stage it. If it's going to be your background that you're going to be using, make sure it doesn't look messy, it doesn't look cluttered or anything like that. And note that people do look at your background. So if you don't want people to see your real background, you can use a virtual background. Now, UCF started this new effort to give us timers. And so they've developed these timers that we have that we can use as a virtual background. You'll see the timer. Oh, I'm mirrored. I forgot. There we go. There it is. It's on my side there. And this one's just a 1 minute timer. It counts down and it just kind of loops around with the timer. Now, this is great if you're going to a presentation and you need a 1 minute presentation. So it gives you, you know that you have 1 minute. Everybody else can see it too, so they'll know when you're done as well. And they know that you're being very efficient with your timing. And it looks kind of cool because it's something a lot of people don't have in Zoom quite yet. If you don't know how to do this, reach out to me. I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy. But you'll notice it with the virtual background, you can see the books kind of around me. Do you see that? Yeah. So you can see them. If I move slow, you can see it really well. Let's see if I go like this. Ah, see, they're hiding. There they are. But if you move fast, you can't see it as much, but then your hands get glitchy and you lose your fingers, and sometimes you lose a whole arm doing that. But I have kind of an aura around me. So I want to try to get rid of that aura, especially because it's just a little annoying and it makes my hair look really kind of funky. I don't need any help with that. So what I've done is I have purchased a virtual background, or a real background that will help me have a better virtual background. So I want to show you my real background again. Here we go, my books. And so what I've done is I've bought a backdrop. And so I'll show you which one I bought and where I bought it from. It's from Amazon. And this is a nice Chroma Key colored screen for online meetings. And so this one here, I bought the green one, is $19.99 now. A couple of days ago when I bought it, it was $17.99. So watch that price. It fluctuates for sure. But they also have a black one for $15.99 and a white one for $15.99 as well. I did do the green option only because I worked in film in the 90s and we always used either blue or green for Chroma Key when we did videos using the Chroma Key feature. Now, I will say that the cheap option that I used back in the 90s was we would buy paint. So they had Chroma Key green paint that you could only buy locally at the Home Depot in Lake Mary. And so we used to always buy that and paint things, and then we use Chroma Key, and it worked great. Now, I will say I just got in my background, my green curtain. So let's go ahead and let's test it out. I will say it's a slightly different color than the Chroma Key that I remember using in the 90s though, so I'm a little concerned about how it's going to work. But let's check it out. And bam, I'm back. So now I have my green background, and you can see it's not really a green. And it does have some wrinkles in it, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't show up when you're using Chroma Key. I always wondered about that when I was in film and video, but once we shot it, it looked just fine. So I'm not worried about that part at all, but let's go ahead and let's change the virtual background and see what it looks like. So I'm going to go back to my timer here that the Faculty Center made for me. And you can see I've got an aura still around me, but now it's green and it looks a little alien and drippy. I don't know. That looks kind of weird. Not that we normally touch our head when we're speaking, but you use your hands and, oh, that one just disappeared. And it just kind of has a green web. It almost looks like slime on my head. It reminds me of when I was a kid and I would go swimming a lot during the summer and I would get like a green tint in my hair from the chlorine. I need some aloe rid. Yeah, that's not necessarily a good thing. I can't say, I got a thing on my head. I can't say I'm a fan of the green screen. So I'm going to try something different. I have a black piece of cloth that I bought for my son when he was a magician. When he was a kid, he was a magician. But he used this black piece of velour cloth to cover a table that had all of his little magic tricks and everything on it. So I have that. It's free. It's in my house. So I'm going to try that and see if it's any better than this. So hang tight. I'm going to go and try to figure that out. All right, I'm back. And I've got my black piece of material here. You can see it's not perfect. It's got like, well, it's like a velvet type of a thing. So it's not necessarily wrinkly. It's supposed to have this wrinkled look to it. So it doesn't look great. But again, if it's chroma key, it's not supposed to, it doesn't have to look perfect in order to work. So let's go ahead and we'll turn on the virtual background again, and we'll see how this works. Okay, hey, not bad. So I still have a little bit of an aura around me, but because my background is black on the virtual background and on my real background, it's not as bad. It's not as obvious. You can still see it. You can see the material behind me when I do something like that. But how often are you going to be like putting your hands up and so like I'm being arrested or something? Yeah, you're going to be doing this with your hands, which isn't so bad, right? No, that's not too bad. And the aura around my head isn't so bad either. It's actually better than the books. So I'm pretty happy about that. I wonder what would have happened if I covered up my chair too, because you can see my chair here. Let me try that out. Let's see. I'll just lift it over the chair. Hey, now you're talking. That's better. And now you can't even see the chair because all I've done is I've just put it over the back of the chair and it looks pretty good. And so if I'm talking, hey, that's not bad. And it was free. That's the best part. I just saved myself $17.99. And if you bought it now, it would be $20, $19.99. But if you have a black sheet or if you have a black tablecloth in your house, try that out. It might just work. The key is to make sure that your virtual background and your background are similar in color. And I think that's what's going to work best. But I also think it's better if you don't have like a green or something behind you, because like I said, it kind of comes up kind of weird when you do that. So have fun with Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Good luck with your projects.